Welcome to your midweek update. I'm your host, Paul, from KCTK Radio. Now, this is the program where we give you a quick update about what people are talking about this week. We examine the latest trending Google searches for today, so you know what everyone is talking about. Now, I'm not claiming these are the most important things or even that you should know about them. I'm just letting you know what others are talking about. So, we look at the top 5 ones, and let's go on with the countdown.
Number 5.
Number 5 has to do with the Russian probe against our dear leader, our dear president, Donald J. Trump. The search is for Alex van der Swan. Alex van der Swan, he is a Russian lawyer and an oligarchy's son-in-law. He pleads guilty. He was working with Paul Manafort, and he also was part of the dossier. His name was mentioned in the Trump dossier, and he pleaded guilty to lying to investigators. What I find interesting is, does this guy who's a Russian care if he's lying to the federal government? It's our government. They lie to us all the time through their Facebook clones and their, those trolls they do have on the Twitter. Would he care that he lied to our government? I don't know, but a lot of people are interested in it, and that's why it made it to number 5.
Number 4.
Okay, this is becoming to be a trend, and why we're always probably going to have one of these type of stories on the midweek update because it's what people are looking at. And number 4 is Rihanna. Oh yeah, Rihanna. She turns 30 years old, and a lot of people were searching her 30 greatest songs, and really what they were looking for were different pictures of Rihanna. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Rihanna, but she is we used to say a PYT, but I don't know if that would count if you're 30. I don't know if it's 30 the new 40, 30's the new 20. So yeah, so she would still be a PYT. That's what we used to say in the 70s, and everyone thought we were pretty cool when we said things like that. So do yourself a favor, go and do the Google search for Rihanna. Were you wondering how to spell her name? Rihanna. She's actually a singer from this century that I've heard of. Let's take a quick break and learn about one of our great sponsors. What's that? You lost your internet connection again? Well, my friend, either your downloading habits need to be curbed, like the pictures of Rihanna, or you should just get a new internet service provider. I'm with Great Haste Nation, the fastest, most reliable internet connection on the planet. I can even talk to relatives overseas through the internet without missing a beat. Well, there's no surprises with internet service provided by Great Haste Nation. Oh? Want their number? Well, here it is. 913-735-0060. That number again, 913-735-0060. Great Haste Nation. Visit us at our website, www.greathastenation.com. And yes, that is on the World Wide Web. Great Haste Nation, the hasty way to the internet. And remember, use promo code YourMidweekUpdate at checkout.
Number 3.
Okay, 3 is a fella that we call Post Malone. Post Malone. Now, Post Malone is, I guess he's a rapper. He's going to be playing at the Preakness. And I am not very familiar with the Post Malone music. So let's see if we can hear a little bit of Post Malone and everything that he is all about. Because I guess he is a big, big star. Get to the beat, Post. Do it post haste. The language. The language. So that's what you call Post Malone. And quite frankly, just listening to it, I can tell you he sucks. But let's not be too quick to judge this recent what's going on lately with music, because, folks, I mean, we were there. Aha. Come on. Cyndi Lauper. I mean, Poison. I mean, the 80s sucked too. So my point is, it all sucks. Post Malone probably sucks just as bad, if not worse than any of them. But anyone who sits there and tells you that this guy stinks is probably an old person who thinks that their music was much better. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I was there in the 80s, and so were you. And you have to remember that our music sucked as well.
Number 2.
Okay, number 2 is really interesting because it just shows how divided our nation is. It is David Hogg. David Hogg is one of the students that was at the Parkland, Florida school last week during the school shooting. He has been on the media quite a bit, and he's talked a lot about how the government needs to do more to stop these shootings. His father is a retired FBI agent. So now that David is out there saying what he thinks and his fears, the terrible experience he went through, now, you guessed it, some of President Trump's most fervent supporters have started going after the survivor of last week's shooting, David Hogg. I don't know if it's Hogg or Hogg. It's H-O-G-G. So, of course, instead of just listening to the kid and trying to figure out, what we could do and what we couldn't do, let's go after him and divide everything even further because he's a kid that was just in a live shootout. Now, I have an idea what I need to do to save me a lot of time and save you a lot of time. This program is about trying to figure out what people are talking about. So we should just do a generic one. This week, the president said something stupid on Twitter and offended everyone. Also, there was a school shooting. And third, Congress did nothing about it. And number 4, the people of America voted to keep everything the same way. I should just do that episode over and over again. And then we won't need to do any more of them.
And number 1.
Okay, the number 1 thing is... just before we get into number 1, the number 6 was school closings again. And I find that really interesting because we sit there and we think we get divided through the internet, but it still is the place where people want to know what's going on. So they Google school closing. There's been an ice storm coming through the Midwest, and that is what has happened quite a bit. But the number 1 is Barcelona, and their recent soccer match against Chelsea. And I guess Barcelona is a pretty big and important team. I don't know who you'd equate them to. Maybe equate them with the Patriots in the NFL, but overseas, when it comes to soccer, it's the Barcelona soccer team. But they call it football. Barcelona. Looks like they recently played Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea. This is the last time we're talking about Chelsea. So it's 1-1. And isn't that a boring game where they play soccer and it's tied? But I'm going to throw this out too, similar to what I said before. If you think the soccer and the football stinks, try watching basketball sometime. You can shoot this part, it's 2 points. This part's 3 points. You can stand here, but you can only stand for 3 seconds. You have your hand up in a certain way, it's a foul. If I'm running too fast, it's an offensive foul. Basketball sucks too, folks. So before you start thinking everything sucks, remember that you suck as well. And speaking of sucking, thanks for joining us for your midweek update. This is what everyone's talking about. So you go to the office tomorrow, you let them know. I know the things that people are talking about because I listened to it on your midweek update. Thank you. Until we meet again, be safe.
This has been a KCTK production, produced by Paul Lavoda. If you want more information about this content, then you have some real weirdness going on. You can always check out KCTK Radio on Facebook. Listen to live programs at kctk.radio12345.com. Yes, and that is on the World Wide Web. Thank you.